I'm wondering what you guys are all going to discuss now that the Bears actually won a game.
I know, but it's kind of one of those wins where, okay, let me explain it this way. You ever ask your mom to buy your favorite cereal, but she brings back the generic? You can't really be happy about it, even though you have your cereal. It's similar.
Okay.
You know,
so
it's a win.
This is a generic Bears performance?
It's a win. It was needed. You feel good to win, but what you saw wasn't really promising.
So this is Kroger, not Kellogg's right now. I gotcha. Yeah, I'm with you. There's a lot to still scratch your head about. But the bottom line, Jared and I were talking about it. It's a win right now that saves your season, and they need it in the worst way. No matter how bad it looked, it's still a win.
Well, you know, they did us a lot of favors by not having their starting quarterback and having one of the worst defenses. So if we didn't win that game, it would have been a little bit embarrassing considering this is the third game I can count where a lot of things were going in our favor. You know, against the Chargers, they had all those penalties. They gave us so much yardage through those penalties. And with the Saints, they had a lot of injured players as well, and yet we still couldn't capitalize on any of those games. Yeah,
it's a good point. The Bears have, I wouldn't say been handed a lot of opportunities, but there have been things that have broken their way, and Charger game is a good example. The Saints, they're without Alvin Kamara and they're without Drew Brees, and they had both. They lost today at home to a 1-7 Falcons team. The NFL is weird. You were talking about right how many were Miami won today,
and the Browns won.
The Browns won.
The Chiefs lost.
The Chiefs lost with Mahomes back at Tennessee. The Jets won, but they played the Giants. So you could say someone had to win, but I guess they could have tied.
It was
it was a weird day in the NFL, but. That's the thing about this league. The Bears, they can go to Los Angeles next week if they get that win. And again, it's a big ask because the Rams still a good team, even though they're losing right now to Pittsburgh. They get to about 500 if they win. They have the Giants at home. You have the Lions on Thanksgiving. Winnable games. I don't want to be sucked back in, but I can see the path.
I know it's hard because you see those exciting moments. You know, those 3 touchdowns were huge. Those 3 touchdown passes, you were like, oh, okay, so Mitch can throw a football and he could be accurate. But the problem is consistency. If you aren't consistent, which he clearly is not, you're not going to win football games on a regular basis. It's going to be extremely difficult. Yes, play to your strengths. But you know what? You're not always going to be in a position where your strengths are going to be able to be utilized.
And you're not always going to be in a position to feast on a really bad defense in Detroit. But look, you got to give credit where credit's due. This is a great pass to Ben Braunecker, your backup tight end. You know, you're scheming for Ben Braunecker in practice. I don't know what that tells you about the skill position players right now. But they had obviously a rapport. They like that Allen Robinson, such a reliable factor in the offense for Mitch. Taylor Gabriel, Tariq Cohen finding the end zone here. This is the stuff that maybe it boosts Mitch's confidence because that's really been the last few weeks, the talk of, is he just mentally, is he so down on where he is? Because, look, last year he wasn't great, but he was still a Pro Bowl alternate, still able to make plays. It just hasn't been there this season. Can this be a boost for him from the confidence department?
I sure hope so, and I'm amazed to see how much better he is when they're playing up-tempo. He just moves the ball down the field almost effortlessly, obviously with some help from receivers. But the difference is almost day and night when you see him just kind of get out there, okay, let's go, let's go, let's go. When he starts to really think, then you have some problems, which is a little concerning thinking about the future. But maybe just stick with that for right now. Go up tempo. You can kind of keep with the short passes, but you still can't throw less than 10 yards for each passing play, especially when you're not having a successful run game.
Yeah, I mean, again, you watch that first half, and until the 2-minute warning, it was ugly. And again, 3 and outs, the short passes, there were some drops in there as well. But if you're Matt Nagy and you truly want to see if this offense can improve on a week-to-week basis, you got to look at the tape and go, where were we most successful? It was in that up-tempo, kind of get to the line, let Trubisky just play backyard football a little bit. Still wasn't running around, but he was making the reads, he was making the throws there. Matt was saying after the game, that stuff is usually schemed up ahead of time. Sometimes you're forced into it like they were, but scheme it up going forward. Let's see a little bit more of that.
And sooner, not waiting till the last drive of the first half to do something, especially with a backup tight end. You know, Brana, who was everyone during that touchdown celebration. But that was huge. And then we had the 2 quickly coming back for the second half. But then after that, I had to write this down because it was so shocking. After those 2 drives for the touchdowns, we went 3 plays, 8 yards, 7 plays, 22 yards, 3 plays, 7 yards, 3 plays, 9 yards, 3 plays, 8 yards. That's not acceptable. How do you go from
because it's
that frustrating. How do you go from 3 touchdown drives to that for the rest of the
game.
game.
There's no reason Detroit should have a chance to tie or take the lead with a 2-point conversion if they would have scored a touchdown there. As far-fetched as it was with Jeff Driscoll, you gave them a chance at the 25-yard line to close the game. There could be a pass interference call in the end zone. Anything could have happened there.
I was nervous. I think we were all nervous.
The Bears did not do enough offensively to ice that game. So, again, questions linger, but it's a victory. We can be happy for a little bit. We'll take a break, talk a little bit more Bears with Lauren coming up next here on Sportsfeed.